busy there with all that cargo. Who do we got coming up next?
Coming up now, we've got team number 9, hailing from the University of Washington, Seattle, flying their plane Mako, and they're carrying 3 pucks and 1 duck.
Okay.
3 ducks and 1 puck. Sorry.
Minimum requirements.
Minimum requirements. There's a story to that, but he told me this long story, and I'm like, I'm not sure. It was fairly technical of why they did it, but they decided they wouldn't get as many points on this. They're going to get their big bang for their buck on mission 3, is what they're telling me, with their deployment of their
the banner.
The banner.
Yep. Thing. Now this is one of the more unorthodox designs. Now we do have a conventional tail dragger there, but it's got a V-tail and contra-rotating propellers. That's pretty, yeah, very trick design, very nimble. Very nimble. Kind of looks like it's channeling some extra 300 there, even though this is a low wing, right? But definitely.
I'm looking forward to their mission 3.
Yeah.
What they told me, they're going to deploy that banner from the front. So it's come more from the front.
Okay.
It's going to be a little different. So.
Are we good time?
Okay.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We just wanted to say thank you very much for watching, everybody. Shout out to everybody that's watching us over on YouTube, on the AIAA YouTube channel, and people are over on Twitch watching it on my Twitch stream. Shout out to the chats. Let's get some hype in the chats that I can't see as this plane takes to the sky. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, that plane's slick. Real slick. I like this plane a lot.
University of Washington, Seattle.
Okay. Mako. Once again, those contra-rotating propellers making some very interesting noises. So, just if you didn't see it, there was other planes with contra-rotating propellers, but if you don't know what that means, there's 2 propellers actually at the front of this plane. One propeller is spinning clockwise, and the other one is spinning counterclockwise. There's a lot of technical mumbo-jumbo behind that, but what that essentially means is that one propeller is feeding the other propeller, and you can generate a lot more thrust that way. There are trade-offs to this, though. You need a more powerful engine to move 2 propellers, but not as powerful as if you needed 2 separate propellers. There have been contra-rotating planes in the past. The Tu-95 is very, very well known for it. And then there were concept contra-rotating planes, where one time the U.S. Air Force tried to attach a turbojet to a contra-rotating propeller, and the Republic made the XF-84, the Thunder Screech, which they very quickly realized that that may be a dead-end technology. When your propellers break the speed of sound, it turns out it makes the plane really loud. That is the other thing that contra-rotating propellers are notorious for on real aircraft. They're actually pretty loud. Once again, University of Washington, Seattle with Mako. Not seeing any of that. Their plane is performing great. The other thing to note is that their plane has what's called a V-tail. It's where you don't really necessarily have a horizontal stabilizer or a vertical stabilizer, but you have 2 stabilizers that are 45 degrees up in either direction off the back of the plane. That way you can control pitch and yaw with just 2 control surfaces instead of 3, but always trade-offs here. The V-tail offers a more simplistic design. You only have 2 control surfaces back there, 2 control surfaces to control 2 axes. Now that's not necessarily how it works, but you're not going to get as much what's called control moment with a V-tail, meaning that because your surfaces are, the 2 rear control surfaces at the back of the plane are being used for yaw and pitch, right? You're not going to have as much control authority on either one rather than if you had dedicated surfaces like on a T-tail or just kind of a regular tail. Because those surfaces getting some questions here. Responses coming in from the chat. But yeah, that V-tail is definitely out there in the back. So contra-rotating props was the big question here. The contra-rotating props, you have one prop in front of another. One's moving clockwise and the other one's moving counterclockwise. There, like I said, there is a lot of technical mumbo jumbo behind this, and I don't know. You guys want to hear something like that? You let me know. For the plain English way of saying this is that the front propeller is braking and feeding the air into the second propeller. The second propeller doesn't. It's basically it's getting fed the air from the first one. That does end up giving you more thrust, but you do need a little bit more powerful motor than you would have with one propeller. But you don't need as powerful of a motor that you'd need with two propellers, like say if there were two propellers on either wing. Contra-rotating will give you more thrust from one power plant, right? But once again, there are trade-offs. You do need a slightly bigger engine to move both of the propellers. But because the first propeller is braking the air for the second propeller, right? That second propeller, I'm not going to say it doesn't need to work as hard, because that's not the right way to say it, but that's the general idea. So, but once again, that shows that's a trade-off. And that's what this competition is really all about. You see a lot of planes that look different. Like University of Washington, Seattle with Mako. Very, very different design. V-tail, contra-rotating. But you've seen other planes that use tricycle landing gear. You've seen other planes that use T-tails. You see there's been other planes with two engines as opposed to one. You see some planes like that are using a twin tail like a P-38. That really shows the trade-offs, and all of that is driving where these teams are trying to score points. Some teams opt to score points in other areas, like Chris was telling me. But there they go, they're coming in for a landing. Oh, and Mako touches down. University of Washington, Seattle, killing it. That's fantastic. Very, very good. Crowd goes wild. It's fun seeing the teams actually cheer them on. They're going bananas back there. Real nice. Real nice. Okay. Chris, you're back with me. What do we got?
So next team up is Team 10 from RPI, Rensselaer Polytech University. They're flying their plane Koi. And they're carrying 3 ducks and 1 pump, just the
minimum requirements, and that's what I was talking about with those trade-offs a little bit earlier.
Right.
So here they go. They're coming up from behind here.
Well done. Thank you. I'll get in front of the camera this time, sorry.
University of Washington, Seattle, coming off.
Good job, guys.
Coming off the runway.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. That was great.
Good luck.
Thanks. There we go.
Thank you. It was a good flight.